Hi, and welcome to another one of my cyber security videos. Before I start, let me quickly tell you about my free guide called How to Get into Cybersecurity for Beginners, where I showcase my 5 must-know tips for anyone considering a career in cybersecurity. The link is in the description below. Okay, now let's get started. Let's start with a story. Frank decides to do a CISSP certification. Frank doesn't work in cybersecurity and instead works in PMO. PMO is admin stuff for projects where Frank has to make sure the projects are using the correct processes for the projects, such as risks, reporting and so on. Frank started off working in the admin department, and this branched out into providing admin support to projects, leading to Frank's role evolving into the project management office, PMO for short, where he checks the projects are using the correct processes, including templates during the life cycle of the project. Frank tells his co-worker Beth he's going to get a security certification, the CISSP, and then when he's passed the exam, he will be able to earn a lot of money. Beth asks Frank, don't you need actual cybersecurity work experience to get a job and not just use the CISSP certification? Frank laughs and replies that employers are desperate for CISSP qualified people. He says as soon as he gets his CISSP certification, he'll be getting hundreds of calls a day from prospective employees with lucrative job offers. He says it's a no-brainer, and maybe Beth should think about it too, unless she wants to spend her whole life doing a dead-end job like PMO. Over the coming weeks, Frank becomes more and more arrogant, going on about how successful he will become when he's passed this CISSP certification, how he won't have to do a menial job he's doing now, annoying Beth in the process. The time comes for Frank to do his CISSP course and take the exam. Frank has decided to do a bootcamp where he does 4 days of intense study and then takes the exam on the 5th day. The intense study is just going over the expected CISSP exam questions, so when the time comes to take the exam, the candidates like Frank will just have to remember how they answered similar questions during the intense study part of their course. Frank comes back to work the following week after his CISSP bootcamp, beaming with a smile. He tells Beth he's passed the exam and now it's just a matter of time before the job offers come piling in. Beth asks Frank for the CISSP certification to be valid. Doesn't he need a reference from someone already working in the security industry who can vouch for his real experience? Frank tells her he's found a workaround for this, but won't tell Beth the actual details. Beth assumes he must have got a fake reference from somewhere, maybe a previous colleague or a friend who already works in cybersecurity. As the weeks roll by, Frank is still working in PMO. Every time Beth asks him how his cybersecurity job search is going, he quickly changes the subject. Frank starts being less arrogant as it has dawned on him he has wasted a lot of time, effort and money on achieving CISSP status only to find it didn't enhance his employability. He reflects on the time and money he has spent to get his CISSP certification and how sure he was he would be able to leave his job that he hates. And now he's just left with a job he hates, along with being several $1,000s lighter. This may not be a true story, but it's a story repeated many times over by people who get lulled into thinking they can get a CISSP certified and the world of cybersecurity will open up to them, where they can instantly land high-paying cybersecurity roles. I've known for a long time that certification by itself isn't a game changer, and people like Frank end up being disappointed, but if you tell them that at the outset, they would just laugh it off. So sometimes it's best just to let people find out themselves through their own mistakes. It's important to understand that CISSP is only for people who already have real work experience in security, and that it's not an entry-level certification. It's a quality security certification designed for people to prove that their security skills and experience from their jobs is real. It's a waste of time for people who have no security experience from a real job, and employers want real job experience, with the CISSP certification just being a bonus. Employers aren't going to take anyone on who doesn't have any real cybersecurity experience, even if they have a CISSP certification. To employers it makes no sense, as they will have to spend time and money training someone up who has no real job experience, and this is something employers are reluctant to do. I don't have a CISSP certification and I have no plans to take one. This has not hindered my chances of securing work, as many of the jobs I've worked in only view the CISSP as a desirable and not a mandatory requirement. It just doesn't fit into the areas of cybersecurity I'm involved in, as it provides a generalised view across the security domains, whilst I'm more specialised in cybersecurity in the areas of cloud security and application security. You need to get real experience, as this will give you an understanding of how the world of cybersecurity really works. This isn't as difficult as it seems, especially with many companies adopting the cloud, making Amazon's AWS, Microsoft's Azure to Google's cloud platforms popular environments that they use. People who can learn about how cybersecurity works and affects these cloud environments can make it easier for them to get into a cybersecurity role. This is what I've done. I managed to understand cybersecurity in Amazon's AWS, and this allowed me to move into a role where I reviewed the security in my employer's AWS setup. Thanks for viewing this video. Don't forget I have a free guide called How to Get into Cybersecurity for Beginners, where I showcase my 5 must-know tips for anyone considering a career in cybersecurity. The link is in the description below. Till the next time.